Howard Stern Show ends, and the wrap-up show begins. Welcome to the wrap-up show.
The wrap-up show.
A recap and behind-the-scenes look at the Stern Show. Call in
888-STERN-100.
The wrap-up show with John Hein and Gary Dell'Abate. Wrap-up show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the wrap-up show. I'm John Hein, soon to be joined by Gary Dell'Abate. As he makes his way over here, there's a little bit of construction going on at Sirius XM, which has made our 2-second walk a lot longer than 2 seconds, right, Al? Al's on the board. Mike's taking your calls. 888-STERN-100, 888-783-7610. That's the number reached on the wrap-up show, where all we do is talk about what Howard talked about this morning. Eli Braden and Psych in a battle to see who is the best song parodyist. Is that right? Is that a word? Song parody performer, and why those two hate each other. We'll get into that. Johnny from the Get My Grandpa Laid contest is no longer with us. We got a little info on how all that went down. Howard's worrying about giving out his holiday gifts, and Robin says she's got hers all taken care of. Megyn Kelly's convinced that Santa Claus is white. And Howard dropped some weight for a birthday show winner. People called in for birthday show tickets, and Howard went from 190 to 183 just by taking off some of his clothes there. And then JD came in, and we learned that he's 5'9". He has a 44-inch waist. He weighs 215 pounds, and he doesn't know his own height. And I think JD does know his own height, but he got flummoxed for some reason. You all know how that goes when that happens. So we'll talk about that. And, of course, we have to talk about the great Sal Governale and how his dulcet tones, holiday tones, I should say, came on, and Howard let everybody in and know that he was going to tell Sal how great he sounded. And then Sal, of course, chatted with Howard and found out that Howard didn't really mean what he was saying, Sal, and unfortunately he doesn't think your singing is particularly good. But I know you. We've talked about your singing before, and I know you're very confident in your singing ability, correct?
I think I sing good. I enjoy my singing, and my singing wasn't for the show. And that's why I don't even know how it got to Howard.
What do you mean?
Hold on. You don't know how it got to Howard. You tweeted it out.
Yeah, but
that's how it got to us.
I tweet a lot of things, but I didn't think it would get to the point.
How many Twitter followers you have?
Like 120,000.
That's how it got out.
Oh, no, I don't mind it getting out there, but I didn't think it would get down to... to tell you the truth, I didn't think you would even give a shit. Like, I'm singing serious songs.
But hold on a second, because I want to be really honest with you. You said, I don't know how it got out. If you sent it to your 120,000 Twitter followers, it means that you believed in it enough that you wanted them to hear it.
Let me rephrase it. I find it odd that it got filtered down to the show.
But what I'm saying is... throw that part out, okay? Now you know how it got out.
Right.
You thought enough of your singing that you wanted to share it with your followers.
Yes, and I'm proud of that.
That's right. You're proud of it then.
But I didn't think it would get to the point where Howard would give a shit to play serious songs. I was taking a serious attempt at singing nice songs. I would think that if he heard these songs, like, all right, he's singing a song. It's not a big deal. And when he called me on the air, I thought it was over Ronnie because Gary set me up. He came in the studio to talk personal business about the birthday show. He goes, kill the faders. And as he's yapping away, John comes running in and says, Howard wants you. So when Howard said...
Can I take an interrupt? You missed the best part. Did you see JD stick his head in for 1 second?
No.
We started talking, JD stuck his head in. That was to make sure that the sound was down, to give John the signal to go in and give Howard a thumbs up. We work this out. So John gives Howard the thumbs up, and then John walks in when Howard's ready and says, you're ready for salad. So it was a very good operation, John.
I thought we ran a pretty good operation.
Well, Gary comes in every day to say kill the faders because we work on stuff, so it didn't seem like anything. But when Howard goes, I have to really commend you. You did something really good. I was convinced it was the video I took of Ronnie on the airplane because I emailed that to Jason last night. And I said, Ronnie doesn't even know about this. So when he said that, I'm like, yes, this is going to be great. And then he went into the music, and I was like, where's this coming from?
Now, Sal, did today change your mind about how you feel about your singing at all?
Not one bit. Not even close.
Why?
Because I do have a good singing voice. I don't have the greatest voice in the world. I never have claimed that. But I have a nice enough voice where I like it. I mean, I play my songs in the car through my phone, my songs.
You listen to your own songs?
Yes. I enjoy them.
Which songs?
I have another one too. I didn't put it up yet because I'm not happy about the background music. The Christmas Waltz by Frank Sinatra. I love that one. But I play Blue Christmas. I played them all on the way to Kennedy Airport when I went to Miami.
But you're acting like this is a new thing. You even when you do prank calls, when you do parody songs, I know you love your own voice.
Well, you have to make a really good attempt to sing well for the parody songs, and I try to do my best with that. But this was something that I did for myself, because my kids really inspired me to do it when they weren't happy about it. The odd thing is now that, in retrospect, they didn't want me to sing it.
You mean they were pranking you too?
No, maybe. But they're like, Dad, you keep singing these old people songs. And I'm like, these are great songs, and I'm going to show you how good they are. And I thought it would be nice to give it to the kids, send it to the Twitter files. And one guy wrote, Sal, why are you doing this? And I said, well, it beats sending out a Christmas card. It's a little Christmas greeting, and I really liked it.
But see, here's where I think you're a tiny bit disingenuous. You're saying to me, I did this for you instead of a Christmas card, but really you did it for you because you like the way you sound.
Well, you do it when you send out a Christmas card. You pick out a really nice one. You're doing that for you. And, I did it for me, too. I mean, I played absolutely. I loved it. I'm proud of my music. I was on a cruise ship, and I won for My Way, so I was happy about that.
But see, here's the trap I think you fall into, because I see this with a lot of people. You have a decent singing voice, like, not to become a star, but, like, you probably can sing better than anybody on the staff, maybe with the exception of Fred.
Right.
And so when you hang out in your group of friends, you're clearly the best singer. So I could see you winning on the cruise ship at the local bar. That makes total sense. But then you start to get empowered, like, well, I'm the best guy on the cruise ship, the May of 2012. I must be good.
And also, Gary, Michael Bublé needs to get his own sort of, where did that come from, Sal?
Well, I listen to Michael Bublé, and I'm not, he's very talented, obviously. The numbers speak for themselves, but to me, Michael Bublé, I'd rather listen to Sinatra. I'd rather listen to Perry Como.
Okay, so that's a perfect example. Why would I want to hear you sing Blue Christmas and not Elvis? Tell me why.
Maybe the same reason why somebody would rather hear Kelly Clarkson sing I'll Be Home for Christmas.
But Kelly Clarkson changes it around. You are doing a note-for-note Elvis impression.
But it's me. Yeah, in that case, that's a tough argument. I really don't have a leg to stand on there, but I love Elvis, and it was my take on it.
Isn't it like, okay, we have fans of the show. And just like any TV show, if you were some actor you were into, and he said, hey, I'm going to put some songs out. You like my voice or not, it's kind of fun to hear me sing a song.
I'm not even talking about that. You have a point on that. What I'm saying is, he's saying Michael Bublé just does note-for-note impersonations, but that's what Sal did with the Elvis.
Well, he was doing an homage, I thought.
I was. Exactly. But what's the difference?
I don't know.
Isn't Michael Bublé doing an homage to Sinatra? And
not note to note.
Not when every single song sounds that way. But for example, The Most Wonderful Time of the Year, I believe that's Andy Williams. I did my version. I sound nothing like Andy Williams. And the Christmas Waltz, I did my version. It doesn't sound like Sinatra. It's close.
Wait a minute.
But it's clearly...
Wait a minute. What did you do different than Andy Williams did, other than sounding a bit different? Like, what
that off note?
Yes. I mean, no, it's just me. You could tell it's me singing it. It would be like John Bon Jovi singing it. It's John Bon Jovi.
So I can't tell it's you singing when you do Elvis or Sinatra?
No, I'm saying I didn't copy the style of Andy Williams. I did copy the style of Elvis. I did not replicate Andy Williams' style.
I think you totally copied the style of Andy Williams. You just don't really care about Andy Williams enough to know who he is.
I think I copied the spirit of the song. I really do. It's just a happy, I carried the spirit of it. That's how that's me. I'm telling you how I feel.
All right. In 5 minutes, you got from Howard giving you a compliment, which I know is rare at times, to doing a show at Radio City where you guys were splitting the profits 50-50 after Howard backed it.
Right.
And I don't know if you were caught up in the moment, but it definitely sounded like you believed, because Howard believed in your voice, that you could pull this off. And good for you for having that confidence. But were you doubting it at all as this whole was rolling out?
I was doubting it a few times, but then I thought, you know what? He's done these specials before. We've had Bud Bongo Fiesta and all this other stuff, and there could be some comedic content to it, so he might have meant that as well. So I definitely saw it as believable. And the other thing is that he really couldn't make eye contact with Robin today. So when Robin was chiming in, being sincere about it as well, and then Fred talking about the filtering, because we use a certain computer programs, I'm like, here are three people who are talking openly about the stuff that There's no way they could have like really planned this out. It didn't seem like a conspiracy.
Yet there was a way.
Yeah, apparently. And you guys did it really well.
So you're saying 3 of the best in the business fooled you?
Very much so.
I knew what was going on, but for a second I was thinking, Howard is so deep into this, he might just go ahead and do the fucking concert and then tell you at the end or something. I don't know.
That would have been great. I think people really would have enjoyed the concert.
I got to tell you, I was in with Sal, so I didn't hear Howard's setup, and I forgot Howard did a setup. And I heard Robin. I go, Robin lost her fucking mind. Then I realized that she heard the setup.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. I'm proud of my music. I'm going to continue to sing. And maybe I will do. I'll do my own Christmas special. Why not?
Teddy in Buffalo, you're on the wrap-up show.
Why not?
Hey, Teddy.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry about that. Hey, I actually kind of feel sorry for Sal. I mean, Sal, I've been a little bit critical of you at times, saying, I think a lot of the stuff that you're doing is shtick, but, I kind of really felt bad, and as I was listening to it this morning, I'm laughing like everybody else, but then I just knew the sucker punch was coming, and it was, like, right before the holidays, but I wanted to ask Gary, too, is there any way to buy tickets to that birthday show? Because my life partner, Brian Best, and I would love to go.
Unfortunately, there's no way to buy tickets, but I want to address what you said, because he said, you got sucker punched.
Yeah.
Sal invented the sucker punch.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, Sal, do you feel like,
I was so scared of a sucker punch. Like, it was going so well. I actually, for the first time in the history of the show, I left the studio. I said, I'm going to leave on a high note. I'm like, this is great. We have the Radio City planned out. Fred and Robin liked it. King of All Blacks, even him, is critical. But I'm like, I'm leaving. This is great.
But is it fair to say, if you're going to prank people like you do, like you have for your life,
I love
that
it.
you got to, when you're the victim of it, you can't bitch?
I mean, I cried after on the show right after a Christmas party. That was a lot worse than this one.
I told you, Gary, as it was going, I was starting to feel a little bad
Me too.
because I could tell how Sal was really into it, and I knew the other shoe was going to drop. And then when it finally dropped, Gary's like, what do you feel bad for him for? Look what he's done to me for the last...
What happened was I said I was feeling bad, and somebody said, look what he's done to you. And I'm like, you're right, look what he's done to me.
Yeah.
We all do it to each other, but I do disagree with one thing Howard said. He said those people on Twitter are bullshitting you. I don't believe that. I really do not believe that. I believe that the people who like it say, hey, Sal, good job. And I believe the same people say, this is terrible, you have an awful voice, are being truthful as well. So
I think, I really do. I think you have a decent voice, and I think if you have fun getting up at weddings and parties doing it, that's fine. Don't become that guy. You go, Sal's here, Sal's good. Grab the microphone, Sal's going to sing
No, I'm not
again.
that guy. I'm not that guy. As a matter of fact, even at these karaoke events that we've had in the past at our personal parties with you guys, I don't even like doing that. So, no, I'm not that guy. I don't believe I'm a sensational singer. I like singing. I like doing this for my family, and I liked putting it out there. I just thought the whole idea of the guy who dips his balls in chocolate and puts smegma cheese on people's faces and likes Tan Mom also... has a heart when it comes to the holidays.
Sal, Eric the actor believes everybody on Twitter too, just so you know. He believes all those tweets are
But
true.
keep in mind, I believe the negative comments and I believe the positive ones. And there might be a few in between that, and that's fine too. Who cares? You know what matters is,
how do you know? Why not take
who cares?
it? Why not take the good ones?
It's out there and it's fun. That's how I took it. I'm just really shocked that Howard would spend even time on something like this.
Chris in Ohio, welcome to the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Good.
Hey, Sal, do me a favor.
Yes.
Quit singing.
All right. See, this guy's got a good point. My wife says the same thing. I said she was on her phone last night, and I put it on Facebook, and I was disappointed. I only got 4 likes. And I'm like, well, maybe the link I didn't have. Sometimes there's a link that you can hit it right in the Facebook. I didn't have that link, so I'm thinking maybe.
But isn't that telling? It's so good. How could everyone not have loved it?
Right. I really was disappointed. I have to tell you, I went back. I wait like an hour, let it brew, went back to Facebook, and I only got 4 likes. And my mom didn't even hit it, or, anyone else.
And what I've learned is on Facebook, you can pretty much get a lot of people to like anything.
Right. Like somebody will put a dog there, like chewing a pillow, it'll get 83 likes.
Right.
And it's always great, the people that, within... as soon as you hit the button, the like is already done. It's like the same person.
I think that there's 4 people that follow me that have automatic likes. Yeah. As soon as you hit the button, it goes to like, whether,
Are you a like? I'm a liker. I hate that. I'm 2 words in and I press like. Just because I just want to make people feel.
I don't like anything. No, I'm not saying I don't hit like on anything. If I really feel strongly about something, I'll make a comment.
Right.
Otherwise, I'll just let it be.
That's a good point.
You don't like it all?
No.
You never like. Even what you like, you comment.
Why?
Even when you like, you don't like.
I just find that if I feel really strongly about something, I would make the comment. I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's a gratuitous bullshit thing that doesn't cost you anything to do and you may not even mean.
Right.
I feel it's disingenuous.
Well, I'm guessing these 4 likes were genuine.
They were. Yeah, one was my buddy Chris, which I was really pleased about because he's a hardcore cop from New York. Like, wow, he's like digging the stuff. That was nice of him. And the other 3, I didn't even bother looking. But I said to my wife last night, she's on her phone. You know, she's playing Candy Crush. And I go, did you go to Facebook today? And she goes, yeah, why? I go, I put up my Christmas song. She goes, you did? I go, yeah. I go, maybe people are not seeing it. So she scrolls through, she sees it, she presses it. 2 seconds, then she stops, she goes right back to Candy Crush.
So she didn't even like it?
No, she didn't like it.
But you said this was on a personal account, not like a
This is my personal. I have two fan accounts.
But how many people follow you on your personal account? Over like 800, 900?
Yeah, around there.
So, right. So
typical family friend account.
Right. So, like, again, you put up something, you can get 80 likes
if I put
with a fucking picture of your dog.
If I put a picture of Elf on the shelf looking at the television and the kids, I'll get 87 likes. I put up my Christmas songs. I was surprised I only got 4. I was a little bummed, but hey, Did
you self-like?
No. Can you do that?
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Make it 5.
Al, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll get back to other things we like, including your trip with Richard Christie and Ronnie and all that we learned about that, plus Eli and Psych battling, everything that happened on Howard Show. We talk about on this show. This is the wrap-up show on Howard 100. And Howard 100, what's the song?
Frosted.
Please, Al.
Candles gleaming inside. Painted candy canes on the tree.
I can't sing along with Frank.
You can stop and sing.
Santa's on his way. He's filled his sleigh with things.
The Wrap-Up Show.
Hi, this is Tan Mom, and you're listening. Cut. You got to understand that I'm blind. Do it again. Here we go. Hi, this is Tan Mom, and you're listening to the Wrap Up Show with John, Hen, and Gary Dell. Again, hi, this is Tan Mom, and you're listening to the Wrap Up Show with John, Hen, and Gary Del Abate. Cha-ching.
Welcome back to the wrap-up show.
You know my favorite part of that idea is from Tan Mom?
Oh, where do you start?
I just love when, she gets it wrong and everything like that, but she's like totally in charge. She goes, again.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
Oh boy, roll the tape.
She's in charge, that's for sure. 888-STERN-100. Give us a call to talk about today's show. And before we talk about your big trip, I see Ronnie over there. Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about Eli Braden and Psych today, Gary. And those two, do they both really not like each other? I think Eli has it more in for Psych than Psych does for Eli.
I think Eli doesn't like Psych. I think Psych doesn't really care, but Psych likes to tweak Eli because he started it. But the thing to me is, I went in to talk to both of them. We had them in separate green rooms. And they're both good guys. They're different, but they're both really good guys. I like both of them, and I like their material. I think their material is really funny. Hey, Ronnie.
Jesus Christ.
I'm laughing because Ronnie was taking a phone call. We're doing the wrap-up show.
I think Ronnie, I know it was distracting me, but I think Ronnie's still in that mode that you described.
Oh, yeah.
When he goes down to do these appearances, a new guy walks through that door. He is in charge.
I will tell you, I was probably one of the first to recognize it. Ronnie and I opened up a Scores or a Rick's or something down in Miami. And we were done. We're done. And so now we're just hanging out, drinking. And Ronnie started directing. He goes, you, get over here. You, kiss her.
Right.
And I was like, holy crap. And they just listen.
Yeah.
Are you surprised at how... And not only do they listen, they want it. Like, they're looking more to Ronnie for...
Yeah, he's like their mascot. It's almost like going to, like, Bobby Flay's restaurant in the city, and then all of a sudden Bobby Flay walks in. It's like, wow, he's here. He's the man that makes this happen. And, man, oh, man, he must have hugged a million guys there. He was a blast. He was so funny.
Gary, before Ronnie became this guy, did you see it in him, or was it just a switch got turned on and all of a sudden he was like that?
I think a switch got turned on. I've known Ronnie so long, it's hard to remember what phase he was in at what time. But I remember him at the bachelor party, not the bachelor parties, the Super Bowl parties. I remember Ronnie being fun, but I don't remember him being the life of the party.
Right.
The way he sort of is now.
I think he's in his own life of the party. No, like he's having fun, and it's fun observing him. But I wouldn't necessarily say he's the life of the party. But man, he makes it very, very fun, very entertaining. Uh-oh.
Here comes the life of the party right now. Ronnie, we were talking about, was there, like, have you always had that kind of take charge personality, like the way you are down in Florida, and you've let it out only recently? Or was that, like, kind of a long time coming? Like, people
talking about, dude?
Because people say there's really two sides of you, you know. And
it's not two sides. Only because Sal says there's two sides of me.
No,
I was saying I've seen that side of you before. I've seen the director side of you. I'm not even saying a negative. I thought it was funny and interesting, and it wasn't even mean. But you can be, you have that take charge thing that you do. You go there, you go there. You kiss her, you be quiet.
Okay, well, yeah.
But have you always been that way?
I guess so.
Well, you would know. That's why I'm asking the question. No, I know you are now, but had you always
According to everybody, I guess I am. So, I am.
Which is actually a good thing. You know, when Ronnie directs at these events, he's thinking about everybody. He's like, I want to make sure these guys have a good time. I want to make sure these guys have a good time. This location stinks. This is a better one. So Ronnie gets a kick out of that, and he makes it happen. And it's pretty wild to see it, to observe it.
What time did you all get to bed that night?
2:45, yeah. 3:45. Yeah.
Hey, but you guys act like it's a magical thing. What I wonder, if you went to a strip club where they didn't know Ronnie,
right,
and he did this, would it work?
I don't think so, because Ronnie wouldn't have the flexibility.
Well, hold on, Ronnie. You should answer that question.
Why. It would work, because I would go and talk to the manager, and I would explain, hey, listen, dude, we got this party going on. We're hosting it. We want to make it good for them. You know, and yeah, it would work. But probably works better that, you're working with people that you know. You know, of course it's going to work better that way.
Were you two worried about Richard drinking?
Nah, I'm not worried about him. He The only thing I was worried about, that we wouldn't be able to wake him up.
Yeah.
Because that happened to us a couple of times with him.
The whole time Ronnie and I were having lunch, I called him a few times. He didn't pick up, and Ronnie's like, dude, you better get your pal up.
You mean to get to the gig?
Yeah, we were in Vegas and doing a meet and greet thing he was supposed to be at, and he slept through the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, he did.
Him and his wife both.
I thought it got very real today when Fred started talking to Richard.
Absolutely.
I found that to be very fascinating as a listener, very real. Fred was like looking out for you, but he was sort of saying, hey, man, you got to cut the shit.
Yeah, I know. And it was like, he didn't want to hear any excuses, which I understand. But yeah, it was definitely real. I was like, I didn't know what to say.
He wasn't smiling when Fred was yelling at him.
No, I didn't see it. I heard it, but I thought you were kind of being polite with Fred. I think you have your mind made up on your drinking and how you're going to handle it. And you're a functional alcoholic. You've said that before. And even though Fred really was speaking from the heart, I don't think he's going to change anything in terms of how you drink. Am I wrong there?
No, yeah, definitely. But, I appreciate that he's looking out for me and he cares about my well-being. But, also at the same time, and it's all no matter what I say, it's going to sound like an excuse. But Ronnie and Sal never saw me get out of control or anything bad happen.
In fact, it's quite the opposite. You pass out. You sleep now when you get drunk.
But I think, Richard, people are saying more, okay, the term functional alcoholic, that they're saying, hey, are you doing damage to yourself physically,
right,
biologically, long term?
There's health risks that, Peter O'Toole died, today. He's 81 years old. If you look at his bio, right.
You want to die at 81?
No, I don't know how he lived to be 81. But when he was in the 70s, he almost died solely because of his drinking.
Mm-hmm. And I've been to the doctor many times, and I tell him how much I drink. They do all the tests. We even did like the liver test thing, and everything seems fine. And I know people say, well, down the road it won't be. But for now, I'm drinking, I try to stick with beer or champagne. I don't really drink hard alcohol. I don't go super crazy. I'm I can walk a straight line when I drink, so.
Well, let me give you this example. If you know that smoking kills people, right? So, say I said, Richard, I smoke every day, and I run 4 miles a day, and my lungs look good, so, there's no problem. But if you smoke long enough, you're going to fuck up your lungs.
Mm-hmm.
So if you drink long enough, you're going to fuck up your liver.
I know, and I'll have to deal with that one day. But for now, I don't know. I guess I live in the short term. I'm like, you know what? I'm having fun, having a good time, got a pretty good life, work for a great show, so I'm gonna just have fun.
Richard, what you're 38?
39.
39. So if someone could say at 60 you're gonna face a life-threatening situation, you're gonna need a liver transplant, would that stop you now?
It'd slow me down a little bit, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I don't think it would. I mean, I think, obviously, Richard knows himself better than I do, but I think he's made the decision, you know what? I understand the risks. I know what's going to happen, but I'm going to keep doing this because I like doing it, and I feel comfortable and it makes me happy.
It's no different than you've seen cancer patients with lung cancer with the oxygen mask. They take it off to take a drag of their cigarette.
I've seen it.
Well,
yeah, I've seen it.
And not to throw you under the bus, John, but you eat pretty unhealthy food.
That's why I understand where you're coming from on this. I get it.
You should take a neurological test, because I bet that would affect you if they showed that you are
damaging my brain.
Yeah.
I know that somebody in the back office made the comment that, you drink because you fly is a quintessential bullshit alcoholic's excuse.
Well, I drink when I don't fly plenty too.
Right.
There's airports nearby.
But I'm scared of flying. I don't like it. I dread the whole thing about it. The security, the time it takes. We got delayed yesterday. It's just all pain. But the one guiding light for me is, hey, I get to go to the airport and have some drinks. So I try to get something positive out of it.
Why not a half a Valium over a bunch of liquor?
I'm scared of pills. And I actually asked my doctor one time to prescribe me something, and she gave me like an equivalent of Valium or Xanax or one of those kind of things. And I took it, and it didn't do a goddamn thing, and I couldn't drink with it. I was scared to drink. So I was stone cold sober, and I couldn't drink on an airplane. It was horrible.
Because
horrendous.
That's the first thing I said to Richard yesterday morning when he panicked. I said, you should carry Xanax with you for things like this. He's like, nope. And he
I got my emergency
He
pack.
got his V8, and he took out his little bottle, and he shook it up.
Well, plus, like when I'm on the plane, I have my iPad, and I love watching movies like Bad Santa. I feel like I'm drinking along with Billy Bob Thornton, It adds to the experience. I watched King of the Hill yesterday, and, they drink beer throughout that show, so it's like I have my own little party.
Does anybody here not know how tall they are?
I know.
Well, I sit on the air. I don't know exactly because I've changed it so many times.
But Benji, I think that you probably do know.
I really don't remember if it's 5'7.5" or 5'8". I really don't remember.
But that's consistent with Benji.
Right.
I sort of get that.
I know Ronnie's 5'2", I think.
Yeah, right. 5'2.5".
You know your height, right, Ronnie?
Yeah, it's 5'8".
Okay.
We're the same height?
Then
You're 5'8"?
that's
Really?
great. That is good news.
Yeah.
5'7.5". I don't know.
5'4" without his heels.
Richard, how tall are you?
We already went through this. I got measured. It was 5'7.5". I'm sorry.
Richard, how tall are you?
I'm 5'10".
Okay. So JD doesn't know how tall he is? How do you explain that?
What do you mean? How do you explain it? It's JD.
It's so odd. It really is. He has like he seems to be bothered by stuff he doesn't want to know. And I guess I don't think he cares how tall he is, so he doesn't care to know.
I'd like to know the last time JD got a physical.
I don't believe it was a year ago.
JD's the type of guy, like, God forbid, he would cough up blood and still not go see a doctor.
I agree.
And that's scary.
Well, I was like with the dentist. Same thing.
What happened with the dentist?
Had been in years.
His mouth was rotting away, basically.
And he just wouldn't go.
So when do you think the last time he went to a doctor was? A few years ago?
He said he went to the doctor a year ago.
I know what he said.
No, I think he had been at the doctor a year ago, but he insinuated that he had a physical a year ago, which I don't think that's the case. I also think, I remember being in my 30s and not getting physicals because you're in your 30s who needs a physical. I need them when you get older.
Al, let's take another break. When we come back, we'll talk more about all this. Plus, John Lieberman will give us some news. We'll also talk about Sal singing and how he will continue to pursue it, and we're all glad for that. And where does this prank rank amongst all the others, Gary? We'll take your calls, 888-STERN-100. It's the wrap-up show on Howard 100 and Howard 101.
The wrap-up show.
Hi, everybody. Christopher Mad Dog Russo, and you are listening to John Hein and Gary Delabate on the wrap-up show.
Welcome back to the wrap-up show, 888-STERN-100. Give us a call to talk about today's show as we talk about the drinking of Richard, the singing of Sal, and the commanding presence of Ronnie Mund. Benji here along with me and Gary. And let me go right to this call because I'm curious to see what Richard's answer is going to be. Dave in Canada, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys. Huge fan. How are you this morning?
Hey, Dave.
Hey, you hoser, eh?
Hey, Rich. How are you doing, buddy?
Good. Thanks, buddy.
Good.
Take off to the Great White North.
Hey, Dave, what do you call on a boot?
I'm traveling around. I'm in Ottawa. And, I just left Montreal, so I'm glad to get out of Montreal. But my question is, in regards to Richard, I mean, I'm a fellow 39-year-old myself, and I've never been drunk. I'm British. I moved to Canada in 1981. I just, I don't like the taste of it, but I know that there's been some things to the family where it has basically given me a scare. I'm just trying to ask Richard there if maybe it will take something, during his drinking days, if it's going to maybe be a family issue or a close friend that's, going to somewhat end in a bad way, to maybe control his drinking. Everybody, you can't keep saying to everybody, you got to stop drinking, you got to do this, you got to stop smoking. They're going to do it on their own. They're going to quit when they want to quit. But, I just didn't know if that was something And just a quick added on, too, I do impressions. Sal, you're my man. I feel for you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Here's my Marianne impression for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Howard, how you doing, Howard?
It's not bad. It's not bad.
That is very good.
Richard, I think what Dave is saying is, what will it take you to stop drinking? What would it take for you to stop drinking? Is there something that would make it happen?
Yeah, if I hurt myself real bad, I don't know, fell down and damn it, got injured, I'm sure I would be like, okay.
So Fred's story, that's exactly that pretty much.
Yeah.
He fell on his face. He could have Ronnie could have killed himself.
Yeah, I know.
What about
tell me? I was there.
I know.
Right?
That's
Richard,
why I went to you.
do you think that you're avoiding fatherhood so you can continue to drink?
Are there kids in the future for Richard Christie?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
So when you have kids, you definitely can't drink this way.
Of course. Well, I think a lot of it from my wife and I is too. We love to travel, and everybody tells us you got to get all the traveling you can in before you have kids. So,
and the drinking, obviously.
Well, and everything will probably slow down, when we have kids.
But is there kids you think will stop you from drinking?
It won't completely stop me, but it'll slow me down, I'm sure.
It could become, we become one of those families where, your wife takes care of the baby while you spend Sundays watching the Chiefs game getting hammered.
Well, no, she'll be watching the Eagles right along with me. She's the biggest football fan as I am.
Days of Wine and Roses.
Hello, Ralph Sorella.
Hey now. Hey, I just think it's always funny, shorter people know exactly how tall they are, to the half an inch like you did, Gary, today.
Well, you know why?
5'7", I'm around 6'1", 6'2", something like that.
No, I'm 5'8.5", and the reason I brought that up is because in my mind, I think the line, the above the Mendoza line is 5'8". I think if you're above 5'8", you're not short. I always say I'm tall enough to not be short. But yes, I know
right.
exactly.
That's the point. That half inch is so valuable.
It matters to me. Because if I were 5'7.5", I would say I'm short.
My cock is 5.5 inches.
Yeah, I don't look at you and think you're short, but you are borderline.
Right there.
Gary, in public, I thought you were taller or shorter in person?
Neither.
I thought
you were fatter, I get.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Howard talks about how disgustingly obese I am all the time. People always go, my God, Howard makes...
Wait, does anybody here not get that? I get that.
You're not nearly as ugly as I thought you were.
I thought you were shorter in person, right?
No, I thought you were fatter. Howard makes you sound so much fatter.
I get the ugly thing. People say, you don't look like a weirdo, like they say on...
You know what the one I get that's really... I mean, sometimes people say it as a joke, but sometimes people say it with such sincerity, and the more sincerity they say it with, the more insulting. They get right up in my face and they go, God, those teeth aren't bad.
Yeah. Do they ever say, your breath doesn't stink? It doesn't smell like horse shit, like they say?
No, but it's like they think they're complimenting me by telling me my teeth aren't horrendous.
I get your cock doesn't smell like, oh, never mind.
When we did the weighing,
just as blotchy as I thought.
When we did the weighing thing today, Howard got on, was 190 plus, and then after the boots and everything else comes off, he's like in the low 180s. He was carrying around 10 extra pounds, it seemed like.
Well, yeah, 7 pounds. Yeah, his boots are they're pretty big boots. So I bet you the boots were 5 pounds.
Sure.
He had a jacket on. It wasn't like a super heavy winter coat, but it's heavy enough. That was 2 or 3 pounds. Take off a little bit of jewelry. Took off the headphones.
Ralph, is that fair when you're getting weighed in? Should it be as is, or should you be able to strip down like that?
Well, it depends on how you're weighing yourself and stuff. But yeah, I think if you've got really heavy stuff on, you should be able to take some of that off. But people get so consumed with their weight. It's like the fat muscle weighs more. It's just really the way you look, you know? I mean, but what's shocking is JD. I mean, does he give any thought to his health whatsoever? I mean, he just eats crap. He's just getting fatter and fatter, and he just doesn't appear to give a shit. And he's like a young guy. It's like, you know, and he's got the opportunity to hook up with chicks, and, you know, like, doesn't he want to, you know, be attractive in some way?
JD really, he cares about the things he cares about, but there's not a lot of them. And the stuff he doesn't care about is a bother to him. And I know he wants to be thinner, but he doesn't want to do anything about it, which is a lot of heavy people that I know.
You don't need to shower and put on a tuxedo for a webcam. You know what I mean? So think about it. If that's what you like to do, you know, JD likes to toss one off in front of a computer where no one can see him, and he gets off, so who cares about my hair? Who cares about this fish fillet sitting on my keyboard? Fuck it. I'm still going to get what I want from it. I mean,
is Ralph still on? I have to ask a question.
He is.
Ralph, don't Howard's abs look awesome?
I haven't seen him, really. I haven't stared at him.
Sure you haven't.
Were you? I really haven't seen him have abs.
Richard came in and asked to see them today.
Yeah, I heard that.
Was that before or after you showed him the guy from Typo Negative's dick?
I think it was right before. That led up to it.
Didn't you wish you could have a cock like that? When you see it, doesn't that the first... That's
I stopped wishing about that a long time
Did
ago.
you?
Yeah.
Just like such a gift.
I also wished I could have a fire engine when I was a kid. I got over it.
Thanks, Ralphie.
An inch measure your cock. I mean, that's when inches really become important.
All right, goodbye, Ralphie. John Lieberman, what's coming up in the Howard 100 News?
So much coming up today, guys. First of all, Whack Pack angst continues. Bobo's still upset over the birthday bash uncertainty in terms of tickets. Marianne telling us she would have just signed up for tickets on the Sirius XM website and be part of that drawing had she known that she wasn't going to get a ticket up front. So a lot of angst from Bobo and Marianne. Also, today is the anniversary of Howard's final day at terrestrial radio. Howard 100 News takes a look back at that historic day, which all of you were present, or most of you. And all of that, John, and Lieberman Live today, 5 p.m. on Howard 101, where we discuss all of the day's headlines with experts and whack packers, and we will have a major announcement today at 5.
Ooh. Hey, can you hint at the
Stay tuned for that.
Ooh, all right. That's a double tease. Got to catch that. Al, we're going to wrap this up. Sal Governale, if people want to hear that beautiful voice, where should they go?
I say while you're cleaning your basement and you find some nice toys that the kids don't use, donate it to Toys for Tots, and the song you should be listening to is mine. And you can hear that at Sal Governale on Twitter.
Very nice. Gary.
Want to make fun of my choppers? Go to Instagram. I put up a self picture that I took of me.
Selfie?
I don't like using that word. I'm not buying into selfie.
Gary doesn't like, and Gary doesn't do selfie.
So I took a picture of me at the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. You know, and I put on a big smile, and instead of everyone saying, "Oh, this is what a moron I am," I was like, "Hey, I'm still like a little kid. I still get excited by the tree." And everyone's like, "Look at those fucking teeth."
I know you can't get away from it.
Benji, what do you got?
I'm on Twitter, Bronk, BRONK, Bronk.
Newsman John Lieberman.
I'm on Twitter at Reporter John, Reporter JON.
And Richard Christie.
Happy anniversary to my wife, Kristen Christie. We met 8 years ago today.
Nice.
And love you, honey, and we'll celebrate tonight.
Happy anniversary. I'm on Twitter at John Hein, and thanks for listening to the wrap-up show on the finest places you'll ever find on satellite radio, Howard 100 and Howard 101.
What's coming up? 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific.
Lieberman Live.
Coming up next on Howard 100.
Howard 100 News. The revolution is on.
Sal, pranked again.
No more bullshit. This is a Howard 100 News Brief.
I'm Mike Hambrick. Howard dropped the bait, and Stern Show writer Sal Governale took it hook, line, and sinker.
I'm going to play them and tell him how good I think he is and how I think we really should put out an album, because it's that good. And just watch him. He's going to go right for it.
Okay.
He won't even know.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Have you had vocal training?
With the kids jingle belling and
This doesn't even sound like Sal.
telling you be of good cheer.
It's like a Sinatra type thing, isn't it?
It seems to be a Christmas tradition, yet Sal falls for it again. It's Howard 100 News behind the scenes.
It happens. They pulled another one on me.
December doesn't seem to be Sal Governelli's month. The Stern Show writer has been pranked around Christmas time before, and this year is no exception.
It's a December ritual to fuck with Sal like this.
Stern Show executive producer Gary Dell'Abate distracted Sal while Howard Stern told the audience he was going to lie and say that he loved Sal's Christmas music. Sal has teased Gary forever, so who's pranked whom more?
I don't think we're anywhere close. If I'm going to take, when white women get drunk, I'm going to take the Howard's retiring, and this one, I'm out of the gate.
Howard built it up big time and said he'd back Sal singing with an orchestra at Radio City. Even Sal's partner, Richard Christie, thought it was a great prank.
I love that Howard's doing this thing. It's so great.
Lisa G., Howard 100 News.
From high atop the Howard Stern building in Midtown Manhattan, this is Howard 100 News.
Whackpacker High Pitch Eric views himself as a reporter, so we sent him to interview fellow Whackpacker Joey Boots. What excites Boots about the upcoming Howard Stern birthday bash?
So, Joey, can you tell me what you're looking forward to with the Stern birthday bash?
I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of people I haven't seen in a long time. Looking forward to seeing the fans, a lot of whom I've never met, and I'd love to meet. To have an excitingly fun evening. I'm sure they're going to have a lot planned, a lot of great entertainment. I'm looking forward to seeing Jimmy Kimmel. Louis C.K. is going to be there. I mean, he's an amazing comic. This is going to be such an eclectic mix of people that are going to be there. Past Stern Show guests, people who've never been on the show before. It's going to be a great, intimate evening.
Another Howard 100 News brief at the top of the hour, or as close as we can get.
Howard 100.